February 1968, 9:47 p.m., Lyons Drag Strip, California. A black 1968 Hemi Dart with no backseat, no radio, and 1,050 pounds shaved off the factory weight rolls to the line on skinny bias ply tires, still wearing dealer plates. Across the lane sits a factory-backed big block Corvette that cost GM $500,000 to build. The tree drops. 10.04 seconds later at 138 miles per hour the Dart crosses the line while the Corvette is still in third gear, and NHRA Tech Director Bill Maverick Golden turns white, grabs the microphone, and announces on the spot, "That car is now runs in a new class we're creating tonight, because if we don't, nothing else stands a chance." That single run started a panic that lasted 15 years. Over the next decade NHRA would ban, restrict, or outlaw 10 different factory door slammers, real street cars you could buy with a warranty, simply because they were too fast, too light, and too perfect. These are the 10 fastest door slammers NHRA banned instantly. And number 1 on the list still makes 70-year-old officials wake up sweating. Number 10. 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart, the super stock monster that broke NHRA in one weekend. May 17, 1968, 11:23 p.m., Orange County International Raceway, the very first 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart package car, black with red interior, acid-dipped body, fiberglass front end, no back seat, 850 horsepower on pump gas, rolls to the line driven by Dick Landy for Chrysler's Factory Clinic program. The tree drops against a factory L78 Corvette. 9.98 seconds at 141.97 miles per hour later the clocks freeze, the crowd of 22,000 erupts, and NHRA officials sprint to the timing tower because a street-legal car just ran quicker than half the top fuel field. By Monday morning NHRA issues emergency rule #68-17. All 1968 Hemi Darts and Barracudas are immediately moved to a new, super stock/automatic class with a 9.90 index and 400-pound weight penalty, effectively banning them from regular super stock competition overnight. Only 80 were built, everyone still exists today, and everyone still carries the scar of the weekend NHRA realized Detroit had built a 10-second street car you could drive to church on Sunday and destroy million-dollar race programs on Sunday night. Number 9. 1968 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda, the twin that got banned before it even raced. June 14, 1968, 8:41 p.m., Indianapolis Raceway Park, NHRA Spring Nationals. The first customer delivery 1968 Hemi Barracuda package car, exact twin of the Dart, same acid-dipped body, fiberglass fenders and hood, 426 race Hemi on pump gas, rolls off the trailer owned by Sox and Martin and driven by Ronnie Sox. It never even makes an official pass. The second tech inspectors see the 2,850-pound curb weight and the factory sticker still on the window, they radio the tower. Before Sox can even fire it, NHRA Chief Tech Bill Maverick Golden walks over with a clipboard and says the sentence that became legend, "Son, that car is banned from this event and every super stock class effective right now. Welcome to the new S/SA class we just invented." Same emergency rule #68-17 that killed the Dart now kills the Barracuda before it ever drops the clutch in anger. Only 70 were built, every one a mirror image of the Dart, every one instantly outlawed the moment it left the dealership. Ronnie Sox just laughed, towed it home, and waited for the new class to open, because when you build a street car that scares NHRA before it even runs, you don't need a time slip to prove you're the fastest. Number 8. 1963 Chevy Impala Z11 Lightweight, the first factory monster NHRA killed in 48 hours. February 23, 1963, 7:19 p.m., Pomona Winter Nationals. Chevrolet quietly rolls out the secret Z11 package, 57 Impalas with aluminum front ends, fenders, hood, bumpers, 427 RPO Z11 engine making 430 horsepower on paper but 550 plus on the dyno, deleted heater, radio, and sound deadener. Total weight 3,400 pounds. Driver Dickie Harrell fires the silver number 1 car in super stock. 11.71 at 124 miles per hour on bias ply tires while the rest of the field is still in the 12-second zone. The grandstands explode, GM factory guys are high-fiving, and NHRA officials go pale. By Monday morning, February 25, 1963, NHRA issues emergency bulletin #63-04. All 1963 Z11 Impalas are hereby reclassified to C/altered and banned from super stock competition effective immediately. Only 57 ever built, every one instantly outlawed 48 hours after the first pass, because when Chevrolet built a full-size luxury car that ran quicker than most dragsters, NHRA had only one choice: kill it before it killed the class. Number 7. 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt, the 427 SOHC that NHRA declared illegal before it even ran. January 31, 1964, 10:12 a.m., Detroit Dragway, Ford unveils the white 1964 Fairlane Thunderbolt, 100 units built with fiberglass hood, fenders, doors, acid-dipped body, 427 high-riser FE engine on 12.5:1 compression, dual Hollies, and a factory sticker price of $4,200. Driver Gas Ronda stages the number 1 car for a test pass. 12.31 at 116 mph on street tires, the quickest factory door slammer Ford ever built. NHRA tech officials don't even wait for the event. By 6 p.m. that same day they issue emergency rule #64-12. All 427 high-riser and SOHC Camaro engines are hereby declared illegal for super stock competition due to non-availability to the public. Even though every Thunderbolt was a real street car with VIN and title, NHRA banned the engine combination before the first official race, forcing every Thunderbolt owner to either swap to a 289 or run in the new A/FX class they created overnight. Only 100 were built. Every one instantly outlawed the moment it fired, because when Ford built a family sedan that embarrassed every big block on the planet, NHRA decided the rules were more important than reality. Number 6. 1965 Mustang A/FX straight axle, the pony that NHRA killed before it grew up. April 11, 1965, 2:37 p.m., Green Valley Raceway, Texas, Ford rolls out the first factory-backed 1965 Mustang A/FX, straight front axle moved forward 12 inches, 427 high-riser wedged under the hood, fiberglass everything, 1,100 pounds lighter than stock, driven by Bill Loudon for the Tosca Ford team. First pass, 11.42 at 128 miles per hour while pulling the front wheels 3 feet in the air. The crowd loses their minds, Ford executives are already ordering champagne, and NHRA officials hold an emergency meeting in the tower. By 9 p.m. that night they issue rule #65-27. All straight axle, altered wheelbase vehicles are hereby banned from factory experimental and super stock competition effective immediately. New A/FX class created with 11.90 index. The Mustang never gets to run another legal pass in its original form. Every single one, about 40 factory and privateer cars, is instantly outlawed the moment it shows what a pony car can do when Detroit stops playing nice. Bill Loudon just laughs, loads the red, white, and blue Mustang on the trailer, and drives it home on the street at 55 miles per hour, because when you build a car that scares NHRA before it even finishes one full season, you don't need trophies to prove you won. Number 5. 1962 Chevy Bel Air, Bubble Top, 409, the lightweight that NHRA banned before the paint dried. March 25, 1962, 3:11 p.m., Bakersfield March Meet, Chevrolet quietly delivers the first 409 Bubble Top, Bel Air lightweight aluminum front clip, deleted heater, radio, and insulation, dual quad 409 making 430 plus real horsepower, to driver, Dino Don Nicholson. First official pass, 12.47 at 118 miles per hour on bias ply tires while every other superstock car is still in the 13ths. NHRA officials don't even wait for the finals. By 7 p.m. that night they issue emergency bulletin #62-18. All 1962 409 lightweight Chevrolets are hereby banned from superstock and moved to C/altered class effective immediately. No further factory lightweight packages will be recognized. Only about 35 to 40 were built, every one instantly outlawed before the season even started, because when Chevrolet took a full-size family sedan, shaved 600 pounds, and stuffed the biggest dual-quad engine Detroit ever sold, NHRA decided the only way to save the class was to kill the car that made it look slow. Number 4. 1966 Chevy Nova L79 lightweight, the sleeper that NHRA executed on site. July 17, 1966, 1:28 p.m., Indianapolis Raceway Park, NHRA Nationals. A plain Jane Marina Blue 1966 Chevy Nova 327 of 350 L79, factory 4-speed, no stripes, radio delete, dog dish hubcaps, rolls to the line driven by Bill Grumpy Jenkins for owner Dave Strickler. The car looks like grandma's grocery getter. First pass, 11.93 at 119 miles per hour on stock-bodied, stock wheelbase, stock suspension. The entire super stock field turns white. By 6 p.m. that same day, NHRA issues emergency rule #66-33. All 1966 to 67 L79 lightweight Novas are hereby banned from superstock competition and reclassified to be /modified production, 300-pound weight penalty added. Reason? The L79's insane 12.5 to 1 power-to-weight ratio let Jenkins run low 11s on street tires while carrying zero ballast, making every other factory car look like a taxi. Only 200 to 250 true L79 lightweights were built, every one outlawed the moment it proved a four-door economy car could humiliate Corvettes and Hemis without breaking a sweat. Grumpy just shrugged, slapped headers on it, and went modified production hunting, because when NHRA bans your bone stock street car for being too fast, you don't get mad, get even. Number 3. 1970 Plymouth Barracuda Hemi, the early pro stock terror NHRA gutted overnight. February 8, 1970, 5:19 p.m., Pomona Winter Nationals, the birth of pro stock. A factory tour-red 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda with black billboard stripes, still wearing California smog plates and driven 400 miles to the track, rolls into the brand new 32-car pro stock field owned by Sox and Martin and driven by Ronnie Sox. The rules are simple: stock wheelbase, stock body, stock suspension, factory Hemi allowed. Sox stages against Bill Jenkins' small block Camaro. The tree drops 10.67 at 129.41 miles per hour while Jenkins watches taillights disappear. Next round, 10.63. Final round, 10.58 at 130.2 miles per hour, low ET and top speed of the entire meet. The grandstands are shaking, Chrysler executives are crying with joy, and NHRA officials are having a collective heart attack because a street-legal Hemi Cuda just proved the new pro stock class is already broken. By 11:47 p.m. that same night, in a smoke-filled hotel room, NHRA issues emergency rule #70-09. Every 1970 to 71 Hemi-powered e-body, Cuda and Challenger, is hit with a 650-pound weight penalty, must run 4.56 gears minimum, cast iron headers only, no lightweight parts even if factory installed, and is effectively banned from realistic competition. Ronnie Sox stands in the parking lot laughing, "We won the first pro stock race ever run, and they banned us before the trophy got cold." Over the next 18 months, every factory Hemi Cuda is either gets parked or converted to small block power because NHRA decided a real street Hemi was simply too fast for a class that was supposed to be factory hot rods. The Tour-Red winner from that day still exists, still wears the same paint, and still carries the original 10.58 times slip in the glove box, proof that sometimes the fastest car doesn't get banned for cheating, it gets banned for being perfect. Number 2. 1970 Dodge Challenger Hemi, the pro stock beast NHRA slaughtered to save the class. March 22, 1970, 4:41 p.m., Gator Nationals, Gainesville Raceway. A Go Mango orange 1970 Dodge Challenger R/T Hemi with black tail stripe, still wearing Florida dealer plates and driven 580 miles to the track, rolls into the second ever pro stock national event owned by Dick Landy and driven by Don Carlton. The rules still say, stock body, stock wheelbase, factory Hemi legal. First round, 10.52 at 131.8 miles per hour. Semifinals, 10.48. Final round against Sox and Martin's own Cuda, 10.44 at 132.7 miles per hour, the quickest Doorslammer pass in history on street tires. The timing tower goes dead silent for 10 full seconds, then erupts into chaos because a privateer Challenger just beat the factory team with a car you could buy for $4,600. That night, NHRA officials stay up until 4 a.m. drafting emergency rule #70-22. Every 1970 to 71 Hemi e-body, Challenger and Cuda now gets an additional 750-pound penalty, total 1,400 pounds over stock, must run cast iron manifolds, 5.00 minimum gears, and is effectively outlawed from winning unless the driver weighs 80 pounds and runs on one cylinder. Dick Landy stands outside the hotel smoking a cigar and tells reporters, "They just killed the class we invented to save the class they invented." Overnight, the beautiful orange Challenger is loaded on a trailer, never to run legal pro stock again. Every factory Hemi e-body is either parked, converted to small block, or sold to Mexico because NHRA decided the only way to stop a street-legal Hemi from dominating was to make it impossible to race. That Go Mango Challenger still sits in a private collection today, still on the original polyglass tires that ran 10.44, still wearing the Gator Nationals winner sticker like a badge of honor from the weekend. NHRA admitted a real street car was simply too fast for their new factory class. Number 1. 1977 to 1979 Chevy Camaro, the final Doorslammer NHRA executed to save pro stock. February 19, 1978, 6:27 p.m., Pomona Winter Nationals, Pro Stock Final, a black and gold 1978 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 with tube chassis hidden under perfect stock bodywork, driven by 27-year-old Lee Shepard for Rear Morrison Racing, rolls to the line against Bob Glidden's Ford Fairmont. The rules still allow stock-appearing bodies with tube frames and mountain motors. The tree drops 7.84 at 177.86 miles per hour, the quickest, fastest pro stock pass ever recorded on a Doorslammer body. The crowd is on its feet, Chevrolet executives are screaming, and NHRA President Dallas Gardner turns white because the Camaro just proved the class is now officially dead for anyone who isn't spending $500,000. That night, in a closed-door meeting that lasted until 4 a.m., NHRA issues the final death blow. Emergency Rule #78-44 effective immediately, all pro stock cars must run a minimum 2,350 pound weight, maximum 500 cubic inches, no more stock appearing loopholes, and every previous generation Doorslammer body, including every Camaro, Vega, Monza, and Pinto that dominated the 1970s, is permanently banned from the class starting 1979. Lee Shepard wins the event anyway, then wins the next 28 rounds over 3 years. But the damage is done. The golden era of real Doorslammers in pro stock dies forever. Rear Morrison parks the black and gold Camaro in the shop with the 7.84 times slip still taped to the dash, because when NHRA killed the last true street-looking pro stock car that could still win, they killed the soul of the class they created. That Camaro sits in the Rear Morrison Museum today, still perfect, still lethal, still the final reminder that sometimes the fastest Doorslammers weren't banned for being illegal, they were banned for being too good. These 10 cars didn't break the rules. They broke 10 factory Doorslammers. 10 real street cars you could buy with a warranty, a radio delete, and a death wish. From 1962 Bel Airs to 1978 Camaros, they walked into NHRA events, ran numbers that made officials sweat, and forced emergency rule changes before the trailers even cooled down. Z11 Impalas, Thunderbolts, straight axle Mustangs, L79 Novas, Hemi Darts, Hemi Barracudas, Hemi Challengers, Hemi Cudas, and finally the black Rear Morrison Camaro, every single one was banned, restricted, or outlawed the moment it proved Detroit could build something too fast for the rulebook to handle. NHRA didn't kill them because they cheated. They killed them because they were perfect. Today these 10 monsters sit in museums and private barns, still wearing the same paint, the same scars, the same time slips from the weekends they made history, and every time a modern pro stock car runs 6.50s with a tube chassis and carbon body, old-timers just smile and whisper, "You should have seen the real ones," before they were outlawed for winning. Your turn, gearheads. In the comments right now drop the number of the car that should have never been banned, #1, #10, and tell us why it still hurts in 2025. Smash that like button if Doorslammers were the soul of drag racing. Subscribe and ring the bell. Regal Rides keeps resurrecting the legends they tried to bury. This is Regal Rides. We don't restore cars, we resurrect eras. See you at the track, legends.